Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsidenews.com. I am back from Cleveland. I would like to thank everyone that attended the NoDQ.com meetup in Cleveland. It was a very eventful weekend. I would like to thank Mike Nagel for being a great friend and his hospitality. Amazing time. Thank you all for that weekend. Back to business now. Got a lot of your questions to answer. I'm backed up. I apologize if it takes me a while to get to your question. This will be an extended edition, by the way, so I can get through some of these questions. Keep sending them in at twitter.com/AaronRift using the hashtag PAIV. First one today comes from Phil Brooks. I doubt it's the real Phil Brooks, but whatever. It won't happen for years if ever. If CM Punk returns to WWE, who would you pick a dream match with, Styles or Balor? I've been asked a lot by people about CM Punk coming off the UFC 203 fight. Will he be returning to WWE now that he has lost at UFC 203? I think that it's unlikely CM Punk will return anytime soon. My guess is that he will fight at least one more time, and I'll get to that in a moment here. Maybe down the line, maybe in a couple of years, CM Punk might make a comeback in WWE. It is a way for him to come back and redeem himself in WWE and have one more run. That is certainly something he could do if he wanted to. I'm sure he would come back and the fans would still cheer for him and accept him, and he would be able to regain some popularity that he's lost over the past few years from fans. Part of it due to him leaving and part of it due to him losing at UFC. I'm sure he's looking to prove the doubters wrong with UFC, so because of that, I think it's unlikely he'll be back soon. Now, if he did return, who knows what the landscape of WWE would be when he did return. Now, if AJ Styles was around, I think that would be a great dream match. AJ Styles versus CM Punk in a WWE ring at WrestleMania. That would be unbelievable. CM Punk versus Nakamura. CM Punk versus Hideo Itami. CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Samoa Joe. There's so many guys CM Punk could face, which is why, if that's something he wanted to do, it would be very successful in the all likelihood, because he would have a huge selection of opponents and fresh matchups that we haven't seen in WWE. There's a lot he could do if he wanted to return. He said he's done it all, but there's a lot of guys he hasn't faced in a WWE ring yet. And I got this one here from Dave Lesnar about CM Punk. Surely Punk has to go the Batista-Lashley route and fight in MMA and get a couple wins on his belt. That's the thing. I think CM Punk will probably fight again. If I had to make a prediction on it, I think he will want to try and redeem himself from UFC 203. Now, I'm not so sure about him fighting in UFC again. That, I think, is a long shot. I think what's more likely is that CM Punk will compete in a smaller league like Bellator. And for Bellator, that would be beneficial to them because they could build up CM Punk and promote the fight as CM Punk trying to redeem himself from his UFC loss. And Punk could be a draw for Bellator. Maybe not at the degree of what Punk was able to do for his first fight in UFC, but still, I think there would be some interest from wrestling fans and even the general public in seeing if CM Punk can actually perform and succeed in the octagon. So yeah, I think it's quite possible we'll see CM Punk fight at least one more time in the octagon, and then maybe one day go back to WWE. But it's all a big question mark, and even if CM Punk is 100% against it right now, things could change in a couple of years. You just never know. Got this one here from Lou E. Are you surprised that AJ Styles won the world title in under a year, considering how his initial run started? I'm a little surprised, but at the same time, I've said this before about guys like Daniel Bryan, that the cream always rises to the top. And in AJ's case, he's such a talented performer that he was going to succeed in WWE no matter what. And it is a changing landscape. I mean, I'm not that surprised. If this had happened, say, 3 years ago, I would have been more surprised. But we're seeing more and more of these guys coming in from the indies and getting the opportunities in WWE and becoming major stars. The landscape is definitely changing. AJ Styles is now the WWE Champion, and I feel that perhaps the brand extension also helped speed up the process. I think if WWE was still one brand, then it would have taken longer. You know, back in January, we didn't know that this brand extension was going to really take off again. I mean, there was always the speculation about it, but once it became a reality, then it definitely opened up the door for AJ Styles to become WWE Champion and for guys like Kevin Owens to become Universal Champion. Got this one here from Alex Suggs. AJ Styles and Kevin Steen are the two top champions in WWE right now. Did you see anything like this happening? Again, if this was 5 years ago, I would have said you were crazy. The idea of AJ Styles being WWE Champion, or even Kevin Owens being in WWE. Guys like Sami Zayn being in WWE. But times have changed, and now I think anything's possible. I think one day Bobby Roode could be WWE Champion. Even Austin Aries might one day become Universal Champion. These things are more realistic now than they've ever been. The fact that WWE is pushing the indie talent and giving them the opportunities. And one could say that Triple H is definitely a factor. Triple H getting more power in WWE is allowing these indie stars to come in and get the big pushes. You know, guys that weren't really what Vince McMahon saw as main event superstars. Now they're getting the opportunities. And I would say a lot of guys like Nakamura, Samoa Joe, these guys definitely one day could become WWE Champion. I mean, it's more of a realistic possibility now than ever. Got this one here from Ambrose Asylum. How do you feel about the best heels, Miz, Rusev, KO, and AJ, all holding belts, and who do you think will be the champion the longest? I think that Kevin Owens probably has the best shot at being the longest reigning champion. WWE seems to be doing something with The Miz. The Miz is promoting how long he's been the champion. He might hold it for a long time. Kevin Owens, he just won it, and because of the fact that Finn Balor won the title and then had to relinquish it right away, I think WWE is going to want to have Owens be a lengthy champion and really get that belt over. So I think he'll be champion for a while. AJ, I mean, I could see John Cena winning it and tying the record 16 times. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I could very well see that happening, and then maybe AJ winning the title back from Cena. So if I had to make a prediction, I would say Owens right now. This one comes from Damangs. Thoughts on a Bray Wyatt versus Authority Kevin Owens feud post-draft 2017 if Bray still hasn't picked up momentum by then? I like the idea of Bray Wyatt going babyface. I would definitely consider doing that. I mean, he's just going nowhere as a heel, and maybe having Bray Wyatt be drafted to Raw and do something with Bray Wyatt against the Authority. I mean, I'm just honestly sick of the Authority. And I'm not even sure what WWE is planning to do with this Triple H, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens angle, because Triple H hasn't even appeared on television yet to explain why he did what he did with helping out Kevin Owens. I'm not sure what the direction is. But yeah, I think Bray Wyatt as a babyface against a heel faction would be an awesome idea. I would definitely be all for that. This one comes from Insane Panda. What do you think about Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble next year and facing Owens at WrestleMania 33 for the Universal title? I think that's wishful thinking on your part. I mean, I love Sami Zayn. I love him. I mean, not just like, but I love the guy. He's one of the best performers in WWE. He's been one of the best performers in the business over the past decade, but at the same time, I mean, I've talked about earlier about all these different guys possibly becoming WWE Champion. Not everybody can become WWE Champion though. Some guys are going to make it to the very top and others are not, and you have to have your top superstars, your mid-card superstars, your lower-card superstars. Not everybody on the roster can become WWE Champion. It just waters down the title if you have everybody being a top guy. Only the elite can be the top guys. So I think the odds are against Sami Zayn becoming WWE Champion, but certainly him being close is something I could see happening. I mean, I kind of think of him as like a modern day X-Pac. You know, X-Pac was very popular in 98, 99, really over with the fans, but was never going to be the WWE Champion. He was a guy that could work great matches with a variety of opponents, but he wasn't going to be the guy. That's kind of where I see Sami Zayn at this point, where he's always going to be there to have great matches, and he might come close, but I would be surprised if he did become WWE Champion. I think of all the names I mentioned earlier, he would actually be the most surprising. Does he deserve it? I mean, the guy is great, tremendous performer, and I think he would certainly be deserving of it, but at the same time, not sure if it would be a good idea to put the title on him and then put the title on all these other guys. You know, you have to limit it to the very elite in the company. Alright, this next one comes from Paul Bessman. Does WWE feel like they're trying to appeal to more hardcore fans with its booking? Why or why not, and is it a good thing? I definitely feel it's a good thing, and that's part of the overall shift in WWE in recent years. WWE is appealing more to hardcore fans, bringing in the indie stars, doing stuff like the Cruiserweight Classic, putting more of an emphasis on NXT than ever. WWE is doing the right thing by satisfying their hardcore fan base. I mean, these are the people that are subscribing to the network and really keeping WWE profitable. What WWE needs to do, though, is try and build up new mainstream superstars and build these stars that are over with the casual audience. And that can be a challenge. I mean, it's really a balance. You want to please your hardcore fans, but at the same time, you need to build up your superstars that can draw with the casual fans and create new WWE fans and help the company grow in the years to come. So it's all about balancing that. Got this one here from Broken Ty Marshall. Do you think Stephanie McMahon as the owner of ECW was the beginning of the end for the Invasion storyline? Yeah, I mean, the problem with it was that it was just shifting the focus from the WCW guys like Booker T and DDP to putting the spotlight on Stephanie. And when it was all said and done, that storyline was just about the McMahons and the WCW guys and the ECW guys. I mean, more the WCW guys. They were just secondary players. They were background characters, and all the focus was on Stephanie and Shane versus Vince and Steve Austin and doing all the comedy stuff with Kurt Angle. And the WCW guys took a back seat, and that is a big factor in why the Invasion storyline was such a bust. Got this one here from Austin West. With the intro to the new titles on Smackdown and Raw, does this mean those titles are immune from the draft? I'm not really sure. I mean, that's a great question because now the titles on Raw are being called the Raw Tag Team titles and the Raw Women's title, and on SmackDown it's the SmackDown Women's title and the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So yeah, if those titles are switched to other shows, it's going to get really confusing. I think a good way to go forward with this is to just not have the champions eligible for the draft. The champions stay on whatever show that they're on, and that way you don't have the confusion and just switching the titles around and having to rename the titles. It's just a mess. I would just not have the champions drafted. That's an easy solution, and it won't make things confusing for fans. This one comes from Sean T. Flick. Do you see Nakamura going without a loss during his NXT run? And who could be the first to defeat him on the main roster? I think that it's likely Nakamura will lose before he goes to the main roster. I mean, he's the NXT champion. At some point, he has to drop that title if he's going to the main roster. So I do expect him to lose the title at some point. I could see him losing to Bobby Roode. In fact, I think that would be the safe prediction. And once he's on the main roster, I mean, I could see AJ Styles beating him. I mean, I think only the top guys should be beating Nakamura. I think Nakamura should be a top guy himself when he comes to the main roster. And if anybody's going to beat him, it would be somebody like AJ Styles or Seth Rollins, one of the top tier guys in WWE. Got this one here from Ben. Hey, Aaron, Jericho has been great on the mic and backstage in recent months. How missed will he be when he goes? I think he'll be greatly missed. I think Chris Jericho has made a huge impact during this past year. I mean, this has been one of his best runs ever. I mean, certainly since the Suit era of 2008 and 2009, Some feel this has really been his best era ever. It's really debatable, but I mean, Jericho has just been on fire these past several months. He's been extremely entertaining. He's reinvented himself yet again. Jericho's just been a brilliant performer, as he's been his entire wrestling career. Yeah, he will be missed. I think when Jericho's gone, his absence will definitely be noticed. Got this one here from Mr. Yuck. Will TNA keep doing the broken Matt Hardy compound matches and beat the dead horse into a pulp? That's what WWE would do. If something is even remotely hot, WWE would run it into the ground and get as much as they could out of it. If I was TNA, I would do the same exact thing. This broken Matt Hardy gimmick has gotten more interest in TNA than anything in the past several years, so why not do as much as you can with it and see where it goes. Do the tag team match. Keep going with the storyline. Keep doing more of these compound matches. Keep thinking outside the box and trying different things. I mean, I'm totally with TNA. I think this is something they should keep doing and keep trying different things and experimenting and see where it can go. So why not? Got this one here from Richard Henderson. What did you think of Triple H's babyface run in the late 2000s? Could have it gone longer? I think that it was definitely right by around 2005. I mean, he had been a heel for so many years that it was time for him to go babyface. And, I felt it was really successful. It definitely added some years to Triple H's in-ring career, and he did this stuff with Shawn Michaels. I mean, it was the logical way to go. I mean, he had a really solid run as a heel, and him going with Shawn Michaels was the right business move, and staying as a babyface. Once you get into that legend status, it's really hard to get people to boo for you. When you've been in the business for many years and you've done all these great things, the fans just do not want to boo you. And, Triple H did turn heel with the Authority storyline, and it's had mixed results. I mean, fans really don't want to boo Triple H, but they do it anyways, just because he's in the suit and he's playing the authority figure role. But yeah, I mean, Triple H as a babyface is definitely the best way to go, at this stage of the game right now. Got this one here from I Am Joplin. Hey Aaron, can you see WWE doing a World Cup tournament featuring different countries like TNA did? Possibly on a small scale, maybe something similar to a Cruiserweight Classic or even an NXT. I would be surprised if it happened on the main roster just because Vince is still around, and I think that Vince would not want to do something that's as sports-like as something like that. I think that if Triple H had the final say, then yeah, we might see something like that at some point. Triple H is, again, going back to earlier, trying to do things to satisfy the internet fans, and if there's enough demand for something like that, then I think Triple H would certainly consider doing it. This one comes from Greg Wright. Do you think Dana Brooke could have a classic future feud with a face turn versus Charlotte? Also, Becky Lynch is the best. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not totally sold on Dana Brooke yet as a top-tier women's competitor. I think she's a step below the Baileys and the Sasha Banks. But I think that WWE is going to try and go with this storyline. They're building it up week after week with Dana Brooke and Charlotte, building up the tension. It kind of reminds me of like Ted DiBiase and Virgil, a little bit like that. And finally, Dana's just going to snap and go babyface on Charlotte. So who knows? I mean, maybe as a face, Dana Brooke will shine in WWE. Who knows? You really don't know until you go with the storyline and see what happens with it. This one comes from Wrestling Addict 93. What are your thoughts on Goldberg slandering Lesnar every interview he does? Is he making it obvious he's coming back to face him? Right now, it's all a big question mark. I mean, we got the video game, WWE 2K17, and right now, that is the focus, on selling that video game and getting people to buy it. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg is certainly a possibility for next year's WrestleMania. If Goldberg does come back for one more match, WrestleMania would be the logical place for it to happen. And Brock Lesnar would be a suitable opponent. I mean, going back to 2004, that match, I'm sure both guys would like to redeem themselves from that match and have a much better encounter the second time around. And I think the fans would accept the match more now than they did back then. So, I mean, if it does happen, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be an entertaining match. And right now, I mean, it could happen, but nothing is set in stone right now, and there's still plenty of time until WrestleMania. So, right now, it's too early to make a solid prediction on if that match is going to happen or not. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe if you haven't already. Tell a friend about NoDQ&A video on Facebook or Twitter. I appreciate all the feedback from you guys, at least the constructive feedback. I have to say I was a little disappointed in some of the negative comments for the UFC 203 video as well as the Backlash review video. The Backlash review video was a one-off. I was there in Pennsylvania, meeting up with Greg Cherry in person for the first time, and Mike Nagel was there with me, so had them on the video. You know, the comments, some of the homophobic comments was really out of line, and I'm sorry, but if you're going to make those comments, I do not want you as a viewer, and I'm just going to block people that make the negative comments like that. I do appreciate the positive, constructive feedback. You know, nothing's perfect. This is always an ongoing work in progress. I'm always trying to make the videos better. I'm always giving it my best effort. So again, I appreciate the positive feedback and the constructive feedback, but if you're going to be a jerk and leave the negative comments that are just insults, personal attacks, then prepare to be blocked. And please do not come on Facebook and ask me, why did you block me on YouTube? You damn well know the answer. So that'll do it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.